May peace be unto you. So I am back with this video. I don't know why I am smiling like a chissy kid, because this is not funny at all. And so I feel some kind of way about sharing it. Like I feel the Holy Spirit like quickening within me, giving me more strength to talk about this thing. And so the name of this video is going to be Bullied Girl. And so as I was doing my little, I always commune with the Father. So that's not like I don't have a specific time to do it. So I was kind of getting myself together, and he just brought a whole bunch of memories flooding in that I spoke about it, but I'm not sure if I spoke about it in depth. And so he wants me to speak about it because this is a part of the reason I am the way that I am. So let me start off by, he gave codependency broken as well. And so he lets me know when certain things break. I already spoke on the pride that I had and the bitterness that I had obtained. Even though it wasn't all super long, the pride has been almost lifelong because my pride was not being able to ask for help. I'd rather do it myself, and I'll sit in silence just and suffer if I got to, because I don't want to ask nobody else for help. And so codependency is thinking. In the beginning, that didn't really apply as far as not being able to think for myself. I've always been able to think for myself, but as I stated in the video yesterday, that some people would say that I was indecisive, but I wasn't indecisive. It's just I wanted to do the right thing. So I would take my time on trying to decide if I want to do it or if I don't want to do it. And I realize now that I was speaking to the Holy Spirit to guide me on what to do. And so it says thinking behavior is instead organized around another person, a process, or substance. Codependents place a lower priority on their own needs while being excessively preoccupied with the needs of others. And so after that, he had me write, you must have balance, because that's not good. Yeah, we want to meet others' needs as a believer. However, you have to have balance and be spirit-led, because I will often be drained and wore out doing that. And I wasn't doing it because to prove I was a Christian or anything like that. It just was in me to do it. And I still needed to learn balance. And so that's something that he has taught me, that I don't focus solely on one person. Because when I did that, my feelings would get hurt. You know, I would be used to just being around one person, and then it's like they'll reject me, like, because if somebody else was with them, then they want to be with them. Or if I wanted to sit by them or anything, it would be like, we all in the same place, or it was just a lot of stuff going on. And so I've learned to trust in Jesus for myself and depend on him. He's the best friend like no other. And so I see there was a part that I left off on the other video, which was, let me just add this in here right quick. It's 144,000 having his Father's name written on their foreheads, redeemed from the earth, first fruit of God and the Lamb. In their mouth, no deceit, without fault before the throne of God. So he had me write deceit down, concealing or misrepresenting the truth. Okay? And so Revelations 14:9, those that worship the beast shall drink the wine of God's wrath, poured out full strength. Hear me right? That and instigate evil to fulfill plans. His plans. He'll allow it. End time beast, divine plan. Joshua 23, rest from all enemies. Day of the Lord, Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming. Emergency help, service, doctrine of truth. So please read chapter 23 of Joshua for yourself. Okay, so back to the bully girl. When I was in school, I think I'm going to speak on physical altercations, because we always were close growing up. Whenever when we were shorties, we were always close. We had our little spats or whatever, but as far as like just always fighting and being like having hatred in our heart for one another, we always came back and we was cool or whatever. And so I remember these two boys held me up in the back of the school, where Mama Soldier would pick us up from school. And see, Mama Soldier, she didn't play no games about us. If whoever didn't know that, she didn't play no games. So as a child, I learned not to tell her no more. I tried to handle it on my own, because after this incident, everybody was scared. She turned it out, and everybody was scared. They didn't talk to me for a whole, they were scared to talk to me for a whole week. And I had people tell me they were scared to talk to me. And so everybody was my best friend then. But what they did was him me in the back of the school and was pushing me in my head because I didn't like the little boy. He was pushing me in my head. He just kept pushing me in my head. And I didn't do anything. I wasn't scared. I just didn't do anything because I felt that's one thing. Like, I wasn't scared to fight people. It's just that's something that my papa on earth taught us. And I didn't get in like physical altercations like that with my brothers. Me and my sisters, we held arms because we didn't want to fight each other. We were just mad with each other, but we didn't like physically altercation. And then I was aggravating my little baby brother. But other than that, we didn't fight like that. We just had like a strong love and a strong bond. And so, like I said, she turned it out and ain't nobody messed with me again. So the so-called friend moved from up north and everybody hated her. She was fair complexion. She had beautiful hair. And I was always that child that if people treated others mean, I always made my own decision and be nice to them. It didn't matter what you look like on the outside. I had friends of all races and all shades. It didn't matter to me because that's the family I come from. That wasn't a priority in our household. I didn't know it was a bad thing until I started getting older in school and people started treating me really, really mean of all races, even my own people. And so one thing I do not tolerate is bullying. You will get it if you are a bully. And I've always been for that because it was even a time that I was going to go to different schools and speak on bullying because I have been bullied, like severely. I'm not talking about no little baby bullying. I'm talking about some severe bullying. And so I really don't want to talk about this, but I feel the Holy Spirit like constantly quickening in me. So this is for some of you that have been bullied for your skin color, as I have been, or what you look like on the outside, or just because people felt you were nice and they could run over you, or whatever it has been. And so what they didn't know about me, listen. And so I didn't like the fight. That's one thing. I didn't like the fight, but I would fight it up if I had to. And so this girl, she turned against me, y'all. What happened was we were in the bathroom. We were both in separate stalls. Just so happened, let me tell you how God worked it. She was talking about the school bully. They didn't mess with me because everybody was scared of my sister. My older sister, 3 years older than me, and she would fight she fought pretty much all boys. She fought some girls, but they tried to jump her, and she still stomped a hole in some of them anyway. She just was strong like that, I guess. And so, it's not funny, but I remember her very first fight. All of them were boys. And back in the day, if boys like you, they would just be mean to you or try to fight you or something like that. And for me, if I ain't like you, I just ain't like you. But I wasn't thinking about boys like that at that age anyway. And so, anyway, long story short, the bully her girls was in the bathroom on the outside. One was in the bathroom, one was, I guess, at the sink. And they had left out before we even knew that they were in there. And so when we came out, we washed our hands, and just so happened that day we went to the cafeteria and we were standing in line, and the bully girls, they asked me about it, and I didn't rat her out, but you know what she did to me? She said that I was talking about them right in front of them to save her own skin. Tell you about a so-called friend. And so just so happened the bully friends was in the bathroom, and they was like, no, she didn't. It was you because we heard you. And just to keep from having to fight them, do you know when we went to the playground, we got in a fight, like a real fight. And she was trying to hold my arms. I don't remember what I did. I just know that I was punching, and she kept trying to hold my arm. So my arms got scratched up. And everybody was like, you beat her up, blah, blah. I blanked out, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all about this blanking out. The Lord had to deliver me from this. I'm just telling y'all. He had to deliver me from this. And so that was my very first fight, and I was in elementary school. We from Miami. Everybody know that by now. And we went to Golden Glades Elementary School. And that's when I was more active. I was in plays. We did Black history plays. I was cheerleading. Just having a good time. That we were trying to learn double dutch, just all kind of stuff. It was so fun. We didn't have any issues because when you grow up with people, it's not going to be the same. Once you establish who's who and all of that, you good. But we moved, y'all. That's when it got hell. It was awful. We had moved 3 times. And so the next school we went to, after that, I didn't have no issues at all. Like, I didn't have issues before because everybody was scared of my older sister. And so they didn't mess with us. Like, the only time somebody messed with us, like, me and my baby sister, we would walk holding hands, y'all. We would always walk holding hands. And my soldier would dress us alike all the time. And somebody tried to tease us. And I remember my older sister checking them on that. But nobody would mess with us because they were scared of her. And so I just remember her always fighting boys, and she would whoop their behinds. And so when we got to North Carolina, I'm just going to say what the states, we got to North Carolina for the first time. I moved to North Carolina twice. So the first time we moved there, I was in middle school. Y'all, that was the worst time in my life. Like, those girls, they hated me. They didn't mess with my baby sister too much. She was able to make friends with them. They didn't like my older sister, but they were scared of her. They hated me, like totally hated me. And so they would call me names. They would call me white girl. They would call me golden child. They would just be mean. They started bumping into me at the lockers and stuff. And I just didn't want to fight nobody. I didn't. That's just how I've always been. Like, I ain't gonna start it, but I'm gonna finish it. And so I didn't get in a fight for a while. So one day I was in the guidance counselor office every day. But because she knew them, she was on our race though. She knew them. She acted like we was making it up. Like, it was just crazy. Like, it was crazy. And I knew not to tell my mom, my soldier. I knew not to tell her because I already knew what it was going to be. And so one day my older sister was walking by and she heard these group of girls saying that they were going to jump me. And she flipped out. And it scared them. I know that it scared them. And, you know, nefarious dogs are some scary people. And so one thing I know, she gonna battle for her sibs. She gonna battle for herself, and she will always, like I say, she always took up for me until I didn't have a choice but to do my own thing. And so it was not bad. When they were there, it wasn't as bad. When my sissy and her friend was there, because they didn't let nobody too much mess with you, and I didn't tell them because I already knew what it was gonna be. Like, I didn't tell nobody. So one day, no, this is no. This, I'm skipping the story. So this is another fight I had. Okay, so this person was supposed to be a friend, like a sister. And so she got mad because a little boy gave me a larger picture than her. I didn't say nothing about it. I guess she liked him. I didn't even like him. I couldn't stand him because he was bougie to me. Even at that age in middle school, I just was a little old lady in that sense. And so I just didn't want to fight her. Like, I thought she was like a friend and sister. She just slapped and pulled my hair, y'all. My book bag fell on me, and I didn't fight her. I just didn't want to. I didn't. And so I don't even think we told my parents, because I already knew I was going to be in trouble, because my dad had got to the point he started checking our bags, because back in the day when we was growing up, where we grew up at, they were starting to carry razor blades under their tongues, and they'll cut your face up if you look a certain way. If you was light skinned, they'll cut your face up, stuff like that. And so we started carrying blades. And so he would check our bags every day, once he figured out we was carrying blades to school. And so after that, I wouldn't even say, y'all, a couple weeks. I feel like this girl went back to school and said that she beat me up, so they felt like they wanted to try it. And so what the girl did, a couple weeks later, I was in my art class. She took a pencil and threw it and hit me under my eye. And I like snapped. And I went and I walked out. I went running out the class after her. She took off running. And I guess she told her friend, she should have been embarrassed. You're supposed to be a bully. And you let me run you, but you bullying me because I'm not really saying nothing. I'm not, And so I had a couple friends. And so I know one friend, I know she was the one that snitched. I know she was now. But the other two friends. So after that, y'all, I couldn't sleep. That night, I couldn't sleep because I had snapped. In a sense, I had snapped. I had become fed up. So in the duffel bag, I ain't take no books that day. All I had was a duffel bag with a butcher knife. I was in middle school. I had a duffel bag with a butcher knife. And I went to gym that day. And in my heart, today is the day. I'm not doing this no more. And I meant that. And so I showed this so-called scary person that was supposed to be my friend, because she wasn't never my friend. I tried to reach back out as an adult, but it's just, once you got to let certain things go. People have their lives and they have a secret hatred for you, and you don't even realize that they hate you, but they try to be your friend, and they're not really your friend. And so the girl knew, because when we went to gym, we was about to go to the locker room. The main bully that hated me, and she had cousins and she had friends, they pushed her up and she blocked the door to the locker room. So she knew. And I didn't realize that until I thought about it this morning. I'm like, well, dang, why would you block the locker room door? That means you already know. And so, y'all, I blinked again. I blinked. And she was messed up real bad. Like, I was punching and scratching, and I just grabbed. When I came to, I remember grabbing her, and I took her and I swung her around, and her head hit the edge of a brick wall, and it was just blood everywhere. And I just remember I blanked. I didn't remember, like, just rage, and I blanked. So the father, he made it where I didn't get in fights and stuff like that. Like, he gave me self control where if somebody started yelling and wanted to fight and stuff, I just tried to diffuse it, because I just didn't want to be that one to blank and then that's it. That's it for you. Because when you're bullied, you get sick of it. You know, for these babies that take their lives because people don't realize what that's like when you constantly being bashed every day. You being put down every day. Even with them, you bumping or knocking books out your hand and stuff like that. I just didn't want to fight. But it was a crew that tried to older ones. And my sister and her friend was gonna get them, so they stopped messing with me. But the ones that were my age, they kept doing it, and it got worse after my older sister and her friend went to high school. And so I didn't have a choice at that point. Like, it was either fight or what. And so after that, of course, I didn't have no more problems. And all the boys, like, they were calling me Mike Tyson and all of this, and so it made them matter. And so her friends and her cousin was like, why you bust my cousin head, blah, blah, blah. And so my two true friends, not the scary one that told them what was going down, they was like, y'all ain't finna jump her. And that's when you have some real true blue people in your corner and you don't even know how they gonna go hard for you. And so, long story short on that, we ended up getting 3 days suspension. And my papa told me he gonna get me some boxing gloves, and if I get another fight, well, he's gonna do my arms. And so I didn't get any other fights after that too much, except then we moved again, y'all. Once we established and I didn't have no more issues, I was about to go to high school with my sissy, and I was glad, like, I was excited about it. And then this little crazy girl go telling everybody lies that she beat me up, but you all scuffed up. And then I saw her in the bathroom when we were inside in school suspension, because her cousins, they still had plotted to jump, but they weren't never able to do it. And so it just shows how scary people, they'll try to jump you or even pull weapons. But I just had clicked, y'all. I had snapped because I was sick of the bullying. For no reason. Like, you messing with me because I don't look like you. That's not right. That's still you being prejudiced against me. And then you got people now that they get mad. For me, I always wanted to have a darker complexion. For me, I have. And I don't care who get mad about me saying this is my truth. If you don't like it, don't watch. I've always, and people that's close to me, they can vouch for that. And so I never was caught up on the way looking outside on the outside, and I never was caught up on you light skinned people think y'all better and this and that. I wasn't caught up on that crap because I wasn't raised like that. It's how you raise. It's what you think in yourself. It's how you feel in yourself. That has nothing to do with me. And I don't think it's right. I think you being prejudiced and not looking inside of a person. You miss loyal and good people just being nasty for a way you feel about something. Everybody not like that. And so we moved again in high school. So I went to 3 different schools. I went elementary, middle school, and high school somewhere else. So I had to start over again. Of course, the girls didn't like us at all. But see, they didn't know my sissy. My sissy didn't play no games. I'm telling you, she didn't play no games. And so it just, close calls. I'm going to just say close calls. Because they was about to get it on the school bus. A big old man-looking bully girl. She was the school bully, but they were scared of her. I know they were scared of her. It was obvious that they were scared of her, because if you got to jump somebody, you're scared of them. That's just what it is. And so, sorry, sissy, I'm gonna have to tell you your little thing, but I'm gonna tell it briefly, because it's just, I'm just talking about bullies right now, but they couldn't bully her because she just wasn't having it. And so it was like a setup of a game. And I'm trying to think if I didn't have any fights in high school. Like I just probably like play fight with the boys and that's about it. You know, I had more male friends because I would give them advice on their little female friends. I knew who all the hoes was. I knew who was sleeping with who. I knew everything. But I would give them advice and tell them, you know, you shouldn't do that, or, you know, just give them advice. I would give a guy's advice. I would give a female's advice. That's how I was in school. And so it was a game. And they had already plotted and planned, and the main girl walked by and she said something to my sissy, and my sissy wasn't going for it, and she hit her in the head with the umbrella. So they waited and they tried to get on the ground and jump her. They couldn't get her down, and she was fighting all of them. They couldn't get on the ground. She only had one little nick on her forehead where somebody tried to scratch her. That's it. She was good. And so she got home. Y'all, my soldier didn't play about us. I'm telling you, she did. And y'all, I don't know, just I, I'm just telling this little part. We went up there and we had golf clubs and everything. It was about to be on. That's just how we always stuck together. We just always stuck together. And my papa probably don't even know this to this day. However, we just had a struggle, you know, in school as far as bullies. And so those little bullies become grown bullies. And that's what I experienced. That's what I experienced as an adult. You know, people call it other names where you go places and people just staring at you. Like everywhere you go, everybody looking. If you sitting in a restaurant, they can't hardly eat for staring at you. That don't intimidate me. Whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. Because I know Jesus is with me. He has gone before me. And he is all around me. If he needs to send help, which he doesn't. If I need help is what I need. What I mean. He got legions if it comes to that. So I ain't worried about that at all. And so I'm just trying to give y'all insight on bullying, because talk to your children. Talk to your children in a way that give them a solution so that they don't take their own life, so that they don't make that mistake and snap and go take a weapon to school, because it could have went another way. It's overwhelming, y'all. You can't concentrate in school when you're being bullied. You know, it's stress. You're overly stressed. And then some people, that's why I know that the Lord has made me strong. Like, it's just so many stories I can tell. And so also, I'm trying to think of something else. Teach your children about Jesus Christ. Teach them that he has the answers that they need, the solution that they need to anything. If you need to take your child out of school or switch schools, go up to the school and call the bully parents and call the whoever, principal, whoever, and sit them down and let them know, not another day. They may not mess with my baby another day. Y'all better get this right. And file a police report, whatever it takes to save your baby life. That's what I'm saying. It could have went another way for me. I don't know if I've told this story. I believe I have on old videos, but not in depth. I believe I also told it on another public, but I've always had this thing for people that are bullied or children that are bullied, because it's just not right. I can't stand a bully, a child bully or an adult bully. I can't stand them. And so some of you have gotten good about bullying on public sites. That's all you are. You bullying people. It's okay to have your opinion, but you constantly, if you can't force your opinion on somebody else. You have to agree to disagree and keep it moving. Just because you feel a certain way about something, that don't mean that yours is facts. Us other people that go through things as well. And the things that people get mad about is crazy to me. Like, you don't know everybody's story. People go through different things. And so you don't know someone's mindset. And if you're not walking with Jesus, maybe that is their thought, that they think they're better. I know people of all races that think they're better, not one specific group. That's just teaching a bunch of separation, a bunch of evil work that has always been here, always, since the beginning of time. You know, that separation, like, oh, you a house nickel, or you are a field nickel. That's that separation that always been here. But we got to choose only through Jesus Christ. He gets us all together. For me, I ain't got time for you. You're not finna put me down when I know what's in my heart and I know who I am. I don't look at the outer, at the exterior. I look at the heart of people. And some people's heart just wicked, and you just ain't right. So that's what you need to be focused on, so that you change. You truly change. Your mind change. Your heart change. And we're not focused on the outside no more. And so that's just a bit in pieces. That was like the main, but I have a lot of other stories, and I'm definitely going to write about this because people need to know how some groups are dogged out just for how they look on the outside. That's racist. That's prejudice. That's hatred. And it don't feel good. Like for me, growing up, I'm just a kid. I don't know nothing about it. I'm just a child. I don't know nothing about all this. And so for you to separate people in groups, it's not right. I don't care who you are. You can get mad. I don't care. It's not right. And so stop teaching hate. That's all it is. Stop teaching hate. Get away from that. Either you're going to be together or you're not. Agree to disagree and keep it moving. So this is a part of my story on bullying, and I'm not proud of it, but it's what it is. Some of those so-called friends, check your crew. And then the Father also brought the thought to me, like I remember when I first saw the movie Selena, I boo-hoo cried. I'm like, this lady playing like she her friend and all of that, and she the one that did it. When I tell y'all I cried, and it's like people's hearts are so wicked. Who can know it? Who can trust it? Especially if you don't have Jesus. I ain't gonna trust you no way. And then I'm gonna weigh what you say. So y'all be encouraged. Talk to your babies and ask them if they acting different, or if they're not doing well in school, or they just seem stressed or whatever. Ask them. Ask them questions. Ask them anyway. How do you have friends? I often would ask my son that. My son went through it too. He did. He went through bullying too. And I'm same way. You're not gonna mess with him for no reason. Because he a quiet child. And then what would happen what would happen is they will bully him. And then when he pop off on them, then the teacher will get him, not them. And I feel like that's lopsided. Like they will get the new people because you established with them. You feel like the new people are doing something, and it's not that. It's just that whatever their reason is, whether it be hatred, whether it be jealousy, whatever it may be, it's still not right. You should try to get to the bottom of things and not just assume that it's the other person, because that's not the case always. In my case, it wasn't the case because I was always quiet, pretty much easygoing. I was quiet and easygoing as far as I just tried to be friendly and kind to everybody. I did. And then I went through that phase where I just always had a unit on my face. Always. I never smiled. Only time I would smile if I talked to people I knew, and we would laugh and we would talk, and they'd be like, oh, you cool or whatever. But other than that, and then that came, why are you mad? Or why you all frowned up? And then who walks around all day with a big smile plastered on their face? I don't know nobody. You ain't smiling is what my response is. Stop. We got to stop worrying about other people and worry about our hearts getting right. And so this is a small part of my bullied girl story, because that bullied girl turns into a bullied adult, whether it be in school again, or work, church, wherever. It's the same thing. Little bullies become adult bullies. If you don't check them when they're little as their parents, they become adult bullies, and they have no self-control. They be the meanest and the nastiest ones. And so be encouraged this day, people of God. I don't believe I ended out the last video, but trust God only. Trust him above all things. Hold on to his truths and his promises. Whatever he say, that's what it's going to be. Those that don't have their salvation, you say you believe in Jesus Christ, but you're still living in sin, get your salvation today. Don't delay. Any second, any minute, any hour, any day, Jesus is coming. And to the nefarious ones, go to hellfire, scorching hot lake of fire. That's gonna be your home for messing with God's people. And that's pretty much it, y'all. If you got questions, if you have ever been bullied, put it in the comments below. Tell me your experience. I'm curious. I want to know your experience, because I know some of y'all have had many experiences, not only as children, but even now as adults. You still experience. That's all it is bullying. And that's all that old devil is a big old bully. But I got something for him, and he is called Jesus. So that's it, y'all. Comment below and let me know what experience you had and how you were bullied. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and that's it. Until the next video, y'all.